Hi, Dr. Alex here, and welcome to a new video about a brand new book now available on Amazon and Kindle. The Good Necromancer. This is a children's storybook, and so a radical departure for me as I don't normally write children's books. As I mentioned, it's available on Kindle, although that's not the best medium for enjoying this book, as it is a children's book with lots of illustrations and very short sentences. Nevertheless, it is there on Kindle, and you get to see everything, you get to read everything. It's just probably more enjoyable to read it in papery form, in book, paperback and hardback. I haven't got the real copies yet, although they are now released. I only have the proof copies I got printed of both, but they're looking good already, and I know that the finished article, having checked it, is going to look really good. As mentioned, this is a children's book, and I'll read you the back cover blurb to give you a little taster of the contents, and later you'll get another even better taster. So the back cover blurb reads as follows. The Good Necromancer was often misunderstood, but he only wanted to do good. The Good Necromancer was friends with dead things, and did good things with them. Some of the dead animals were very good friends. Some of the dead people were good friends too. All of the dead had a lot to do. The Good Necromancer was very friendly. The Good Necromancer had good friends. So as you can hear from the back cover blurb, yeah, this is definitely aimed at children. I would say this is aimed at early years readers and those needing support in reading, aged anywhere from 5 to maybe 11 at most. Full disclosure, the paperback and hardback versions are brilliantly produced by Amazon, but they are somewhat longer than I originally intended. This is because Amazon have recently introduced a minimum book length for their paperback and hardback editions of about 74 pages. Now, I know this never used to be the case because I printed this thing not so many years ago, and it's only 30 pages long. But since I published that, they have introduced a restriction on minimum length, so it has to be 74 pages, which is a bit of a block for doing children's books, which are obviously often much shorter than 74 pages. So having produced this one, which was about 44 pages, I then had to essentially pad it out by adding in another 30-odd pages, or 40 pages in this case, to give it a length over the minimum required by Kindle and Amazon. In this case, specifically Amazon for their paperback and hardbacks. And so for those final pages, I reprinted the images used throughout this book in a larger format that basically took up the entire page and dropped the writing on those pages to give just a further enjoyable trawl through the imagery alone. Finally, there is also an audiobook version, which is probably at the time of me releasing this video already available. But obviously with the audiobook you won't get the beautiful imagery and illustrations you get with the papery and even the Kindle version. As I think I probably mentioned, all the links for purchasing this will be available in the description for this video, and it's mostly Amazon and Kindle, although the audiobooks will be available across all the usual audiobook outlets, including Audible. In fact, this is the first time I've used Findaway Voices to release an audiobook through Audible, as well as the usual suspects of Google, Spotify, etc. But right now, for this video, I will read the story to you. It's not the audiobook. The audiobook actually is significantly different from this, and I think those who know my previous outputs on videos will appreciate where the audiobook has come from. But for now, I will read to you The Good Necromancer. The Good Necromancer, written by Alexander Leiths. A necromancer is a wizard. A wizard who talks to the dead. The Good Necromancer was friends with dead things. There were dead things everywhere. And they were dead already. Dead dogs. Dead frogs. Dead toads. Dead roads. The Good Necromancer just made friends with them. And did good things with them. Some of the dead animals were very good friends. Dougal the dead dog was very good. Custard the corpse cat was very good too. Ellie the expired elephant was excellent. Some of them had been people once. Some of those were good friends too. Sir Lawrence Gielgud was an actor. He would often perform for the Good Necromancer. Montserrat Callas was an opera singer. She would often sing at the Good Necromancer. Agatha Doyle was a writer. She would often write about dead things. All of the dead had a lot to do. Sometimes the dead people would have a party. Sometimes the dead animals would have a party too. Often they would have parties together. And the Good Necromancer was always invited. The people from the village heard the parties. They were scared of the castle. They were scared of the noises. They were scared of the Good Necromancer. And they never came to visit. Even though the Good Necromancer was very friendly. But the Good Necromancer had many dead friends. With so many friends, he was never really alone. They were never forgotten. And if they were never forgotten, were they ever really gone? The end.
Masters, mistresses, the Doctor requires materials in order to maintain the TARDIS and ensure continued functionality. He similarly requires carbon-based comestibles to sustain his own biological functions and existence. Master would never say this, but he requires aid beyond that supplied by this unit in order to acquire these. To aid the Doctor in his various tasks and creations, this can be most effectively achieved via Patreon or Substack subscriptions, or through donations directly to PayPal. Or if you desire physical goods in return for your contributions, written accounts of my travels with the Doctor are also available on Amazon. Links are in the description below. Thank you, masters, mistresses.